This daf Yom Yerushalmi Orlah, and the article Ozva edition with the top of daf Chav Ches Amar Aleph. The second day row is starting with Rav Shem Rabbi Yechanan. In the Vilna, it's the Dalet on the base of 17 lines at the top, opposite with the Gillian Ashas in Yerushalayim. So we have another statement of Rabbi Yavo named Rabbi Yechanan. We haven't Machlokes Amoraim how to interpret it. All nosei tam, you don't get malchus in them except for the nosei tam of Nazir. Okay, in other words, if some wine product or grape product gives a tam, the Nazir gets malchus for having had it. What does it mean? Machlokes. Zir said kol nosei tam ein loken leim ajitom tam mashal shaliser. In any nosei tam, you're not going to get malchus until you taste the mamashus of the iser. Over Nazir, I feel a little tam mamashus of the iser. By Nazir, even don't taste the mamashus of the iser. We're going to explain. Rabbi Memo said, "Kol Nazir tam ain't iser beheter mitzdarfin." But any iser beheter, they don't. Any other iser, the iser beheter don't, but not mitzdarif to make up a shear. But the Nazir Isser better mitzarfin. By Nazir, the Isser had to do join together to make up the shear. Okay, so now Nafrina is manifesting two different brises. Masisim Saidain, Masisim Saidain. Evidence for each one for a brisa. Masisim Saidain Rabbi Zira, that head does not mitzarf Isser. Kazais Yavel Yain Shofel Kedera. You have a Kazais one fell into a pot. If a Nazir eats the gazayis from the pot, he's potter achochos kula until he eats the entire thing. Assuming he has gazayis b'chtech pas, assuming that you require that. But in any event, when he eats entire, it does not mitzvah for isser. So when did you get the gazayis? Only when you ate the entire thing. I'll talk about Baba Memo. Baba Memo, however, holds head to mitzvah for isser. So kemish acha mimena gazayis. Once you ate a gazayis of the tavshil, and then eat the whole pot. So then you're chayv. Now it's also raya the tam kikar, because the wine is the mamash is in the pot. It's not wine. You can't see the wine anymore. So the tam is diffused in the pot and tam kikar. So therefore, once you eat the entire pot, you have the tam of a kazayas, tam kikar, and therefore, according to Rabbi Zero, you're going to get malchus, but only if you eat the entire pot, because het is not mitzvah flisser. Now we have a brayso masisa masai Rabbi Bar Memo. Which that head isn't mitzvah for this. Mashish ne'amar kol mishvas anayim lo yishteh. Says any soakage of wine you shouldn't drink. Chimani al kosesh shlamaro. Why the pasuk was the pasuk referring to that as I mentioned? El fishnem, and this basically elaborating the question. El fishnem ne'amar kol she'asem b'gefen yain. Anything which is made from the grapevine. Michatzonim, from pits, adzog, at skin, to skins. Lo yachal, shouldn't eat yain, wine, b'sheichar, and the grape juice. Different for different form of wine. It's not really our grape juice. But amen. You have to be mazer. What does it mean that what are we adding that chom mishras anovim lo yishteh? So there's a change of gears here from the carbon Ada and the Sifri to add in here something. What it's added in here is first of all, litain tam kikar shimshon of yamayim b'yeshem tam yain chayev. Oh, so evidently that we say that according to this brisa that like Rabbi Zira, tam is kikar, but not just, as we'll say, not just by Nazir. Okay, that's coming up, but also, and the Gra changes the gears a little bit. He takes the word Ella, but basically the next word line shim shoran novim b'shor pita b'hem. If you soak grapes and you soak your bread them, yes, you can tzarav gem kazayis chayiv. You can join from the kazayis from the bread and from the grapes. You're chayiv. So I had to mitzvah for this one. Okay, so we kind of touched on the choisrim shabbatorah. So from here, you learn to all other Yisurim Shabbat Torah, not from the word Mishras, because Mishras evidently is specifically for Nazir, that Het is mitzvah for Isser, but for Tam Ki Ikar, that we learn from the Kol Torah Kula. Ma'im Yotzei Mina Geffen, that which comes out of the grapes, Shein Isur Isser Olam, which is not an Isser forever. The Stam is Nazir is 30 days. Isur Isser Anoah, there's no Isser Anoah. Nazir allowed to get Anoah from grapes. You're not allowed to partake of them. Yesh Heter Chayisur, it could be Matir Neder, and it will be Mutter. Nevertheless, also about Tam Ki Ikar. We say Tam is Ki Ikar. So then, if that's the case, Shar Chayisur Shabbat Torah, all the other Yisurim Torah Shayisur Isur Olam. This is permanent. Yisurim Isur Noah, and there is some of them, not all of them, are Isur Noah. V'yesh Lehem Heter Chayisurim, and most of them don't have Heter after their Isur. So, Eino Dish Nasam Tam Ki Ikar, it's not Kav Chomish the Tam Ki Ikar. Mikan Lom Du Chachomim, Chachomim Lon Kol Nosei Tam Yishu Asur. Any Nosei Tam is Asur. Now, the Mefarshim were bothered. Why don't I learn, if I'm learning the Tam Ki Ikar, why learn from Mishras? Why is Mishras specific to Nazir and not Tam Ki Ikar? And some of them divide up this Bryce and say it's really two different Bryces. First one teaches us Mishras about Tam Ki about Nazir, and then we have another Brisa which doesn't say anything about Mishras and might not even hold a Mishras, but comes to teach us about Tam Kikar, and that applies to Chol Torah, which would be a raya against Rabbi Zira, of course, because he said it only applies by. It seems to hold that it's only true by Nazir. But anyway, the Gra wants to say that it's very complicated. The Shori Carbon, the ArtScroll brings down, but the Gra wants to say that in the end, there's some sort of Alach Moshe Sinai, and that really Mishras is not the Iker Limud, even though it seems that way. I think from the Bavli it seems that way, but the real source is Alach Moshe Sinai, and that Alach Moshe Sinai is specifically limited to Nazir. They had to Messiah Isser, and it does apply to Kol Torah Kula. I guess I should modify that a bit. That Mishras, according to the Mishras, we do learn from Mishras. It seems in this Bible to learn from Mishras two things: Heter Mitzvah Isser and Tam Kikar, which makes sense because the soakage is Heter Mitzvah Isser and Tam Kikar. But the conclusion of the Brisa evidently is not like that. That's what the Gra is saying, that really Mishras is only for Tam Kikar. And the idea of Tam Kikar is the primary limud from Mishras, and that's extrapolated to Kol Torah Kula. In any event, the Gemara concludes, because Rabbi Zira, this is a Kash Rabbi Zira, because Har Amar Shiyitom, it said everywhere, you need to be told Moshe Shalisser. The Kamar if you low time here, it said even though this Bryce is telling us even if low time Mamoshel Shel Isser, nevertheless you get Malchus. And the Gemara does not resolve that question, Rabbi Zira. Okay, so we go on to Halacha Vav, which is nice. Mishnah Alpha base. Sor Shel Chulin Shel Truma Shenafel Toch Isa. You have sourdough of Chulin and Truma fell. We quoted this Mishnah yesterday, the day before. Sor Shel Chulin Shel Truma Shenafel Toch Isa Blo Bezek Der Chametz or Bezek Der Chametz. They joined together and they were mechametz. So Lezer Omer, Lezer says Achar Achron Iba. I followed the last one, and whatever was the last one. The last one was Chulin. It's Mutter Zorim. Last is Truma. It's also Zorim. Chamer Ben Shenafal. It's not it doesn't answer until the Issa doesn't answer unless it has sufficient to be chametz. And we said it seems the shita of Yerushalmi is that it's not because it's Evazegor and Mutter, which is the shita of the Bavli, because Yerushalmi gave a different chiluk and said, well, the Issa doesn't do anything by itself, so it's not answer. Yossi Shabira, I am Itamine Be Shammai, but Mashamati so Gamliel, Zokin. And there was Omed Bishar Mizrach. He was evidently in charge of the Isha Bira, as person of the Beis Hamikdash. I mean, the Pharisee Soban Leibishlam means that he was in charge of matters inside the Beis Hamikdash. He was like a manager. So he was in the time of Shammai, Hazokin, and he asked the Rabbi Gamliel Hazokin, Amishar Mizrach, Barmal Ome, and also Ad Shebo Kedei Lechametz. Right? As an answer until the Isser has Kedei Lechametz. Says more Tamatzin over there, learning Mesechus Avodah Zarah, Mishnah and Perek Mishnah Ches. There says Yain Nesach Oser B'Choshu. That's min b'mino. If it's min b'sheina mino, it's minos in tam. So now, if that's the case, Chizki Amar Kos, you have a cup of water. Sheb Mizogo, which you mixed in mina Isser and Meheter. You mix in Oser wine and Mutter wine. So Nafal, it's very similar to our Mishnah. For Nafal Isser Basoif, if the Oser wine fell in the end, then it's Isser. Heter Basof, Heter. If the Mutter wine fell in the end, it's Mutter. Now, each one obviously did not have enough to be nice in time in the coast. Only the two together had enough to be nice in time in the coast. So, since that's the case, like very similar to what Rabbi Lezer said in our Mishnah, we follow the last one to fall in. And that's what it says. Rabbi Shmuel bar Rav Yitzchak, Rabbi Lezer. So Rabbi Lezer. Lezer mar achron ani ba. I followed the last thing to fall in. Rabbi Yehuda said no. Chomer b'yayin nesach. Could be even Chachomer Moida over there, the Achar Achron Ba, because of Yain Nesach Chomer, since it's also B'mashu, so it's super duper Chomer, so therefore I go after the last thing to give taste by Yain Nesach. Rabbi Yossi Boy, I just asked him, Chomer Yain Nesach, I feel enough had to Basofi Aser. If it's a special Chomer Yain Nesach, so what difference does it make? It fell first or second. They should make him anyway. So he evidently holds that Chachamim would argue also by the case of this case of the Yain Isser and Yain Hetzer, and say since the Yain Isser did not have enough to be to Aser, it wouldn't Aser. Now that this we have this next statement, Rabbi Yasser, Rabbi Yochanan, Koshim Zogam Isser beheter. If you have a cup which was a mix of Isser and Heter, then the Rosh Heter Misheno. You see the Heter as if it's not there. Also, Isser, Im Yesh Nositam, and whatever's there from the Isser, it has a Nositam Osir. Bila Mutter, but some Mutter, so it doesn't make a difference what fell last. But just look at whether the Isser has enough taste to give taste in the water. Were it there by itself without the wine. Rabbi Yehoshua, no, Vushanov Heter Basov. Like Chizkiah. That's only if they have to fill the end. Rabbi Yerushalmi Orlah said, Lo Shani ben Trinofel Isser B'chila Heter Basov, Heter B'chila Isser Basoif. Not sure how far, much further to go on. He says it doesn't make a difference. Let's go ahead and say Rabbi Yochanan. I feel my yain, even water and wine. I feel nimzak kol tzorko min heter. Even if you have enough water, enough yain shel heter there that this Papa Shur Maziga 1 to 3 for a Maziga Sakos, and now you might consider the whole cup to be wine. Why? Because it's kos mazug of wine. One portion wine to 3 portions water, which is the optimum measure of maziga. Nevertheless, adroas hetek if the yain nesa falls in, and even afterwards, adroas hetek misha'eno, you see the heter, the yain mutzas if it's not there. Also isim yeshua no sintam oser, and that iser has no sintam. It's oser being lav mutter. If not, it's permitted. Okay, we'll stop here because it's in the same Rabbi Yochanan.